EastEnders. And they did get an early shot off, and it did fall to their danger player, Tanija Willett. Throw comes in short. Poked through for Willett here. Willett tries to put one into the mixer. Deflected and behind for a corner this time. It's that dangerous duo. Tanija Willett and Kaylee Durant. That will cause this Diamond Queen FC defense some problems. They will have to work to keep them off the score sheet. Ball played in towards the near post. Picked up now by Boston. Ferguson here. Too long of a touch, but she gets it back well. Here's Fergie down the line. Fergie has pace. Fergie breaking away, cutting back inside. Great run from Fergie. Almost won Boston. Now Boston picks it up. Still Boston here. There's Reno Boston around the outside. Very good defensive work by Karen D. Carrigan. Getting back well. And it's out for a corner. But that was a very good pace shown by Fergie. And it created an opportunity for the Queens. Linton will be taking this a corner. That's Adair Linton. The two Linton sisters starting today, both Adair and Jendai Linton. Back out towards Adair. Adair puts in a very good ball and almost spilt. Very much almost spilt by Davia, but she falls on it. Almost caused some problems. Booted along towards Tanija. Taya gets ahead, then a boot in it. Karenik can only find it. Taya Hodge, who pokes it over the top. Another big miss for the Queens today is Blair, the number 23 player. A very good player the last time I saw her out. Unfortunately, she's not here today for the Queens. She will be a big miss in that midfield area. It will be corner number 2 here to the Queens. Queens' corner strategy is a very interesting. They have a very physical player in there in Taya Hodge, but she doesn't often go forward for the corners. Same can be said for Sawyer Williams as well. Both physically imposing figures. The Queens putting this ball into the mixer. Attempted acrobatic effort. Still, the Queens had stopped, but cut out well by the EastEnders, trying to turn up field as well. Start with some very good defensive work. Picked up now by Tanija Willett. Willett looking forward and finding the number 8 there in Kaylee Durant. Kaylee puts one wider. That's a very good looking ball towards Lakeisha. Jordan puts this one forward and dealt with by Amira for a throw into the Queens. It's Boston. Boston has an option down the line in Jordan. Not exactly sure where Boston is taking the throw in. She seems to be playing in more of a midfield position today rather than as an alternate striker. And we're seeing Ferguson yet again is playing up front for the Queens. Hawley trying to read this one. Sheila does very well over on this right side. As I will say, a pleasant good afternoon to Millington.
Good afternoon to you, Doc. Good afternoon to all our listeners.
Booted forward, looking for Fergie. But Davia comes off the line well. Davy, of course, the captain of this EastEnders side. Almost made a mistake early in the piece, but did well to recover. Had fallen it just before any black and white shirts could get to that one. That's good recovery piece shown. And the flag from the AR really confused me because it was blatantly out from an EastEnders shirt, but the flag was pointed
Not
in
from the
favor
shirt. From the Queen
from a
shirt.
Queen shirt, and the flag was pointed in favor of Queen's ball.
What it looked like, it looked very much like a corner to me.
It did look like a corner.
The side of the flag that it went out was the only question, whether it would have been a corner or a throw. It looked very much a corner, but it was a throw that was a signal.
Indeed, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Not sure who the AR is on the far side.
That's Allen.
Yes, it is Allen. It is, in fact, Allen, Levincia Allen. Here come the Queens, looking to get around the outside. Yet again, this EastEnders defense is very stubborn. It's a very stubborn defense. They seem to be always getting in challenges, always in the thick of things. And this is, again, without Kedisha Harrigan. Good midfield work, but cut out well by Mindy. Mindy looks very fit and sharp this season, Mindy Phillip. So yes, pass, not her best work. Throw into the EastEnders. A very encouraging time to see two teams with relatively full benches. Sometimes in the female league, a few teams are very guilty of coming with just, not just the female league, in the league on a whole. Because on the male side as well, a few teams are guilty of coming to games with just 11.
And Doc, you're talking about 11. I saw the linemen, yes, last evening, they started with 10.
Indeed, they did. They did end up having enough, and then more enough, because they made changes as well. And Noah Bradshaw coming in late. Same for Rashad Grant. And they needed the changes as well to pick up the victory because Colin Liddy went out with an injury.
Yes.
Jordan, a good move. Tries to find Boston as Fergie has stayed down here. A shin pad has gotten loose. Fergie's not concerned with the ball at all. Goes out for a throw in, and finally play will be stopped to check on Sienna Ferguson.
Was it a hit, Doc?
Well,
and she came across, and truthfully, I did not see whether it was, and it was right in front of us. It's a pull or she got a hit.
Ferguson does seem to be very injury prone. She never misses games with injury, but she always goes down during games with injury. Throw for the EastEnders. Amira goes centrally and will find. That looks like that's York there, but the pass down the line is a bit too heavy. And Lakeisha couldn't get there. Throw in to the Queens. I must say, I really like the EastEnders uniforms. They make the numbers easy to see, so I can't miscall anyone's name.
Doc, it is because it's still daylight. That is why. It is because it is still daylight.
I definitely can't see after 6.
Well, it is after 6, but because of the time of year.
Indeed, true. Mindy again getting back well. Clearance will only find a Hawley toward Boston. Boston can't get past Mindy Phillip. Mindy's played so well over the course of this season.
Doc, I would want to ask you a question about your game last night. After having, I would admit that you did not start, you did not have at your disposal a number of your starters. But what went wrong? What went wrong? You had opportunities after opportunities, even with Lima's 10 men, you had opportunities, didn't bury any, and then you gave up 2 soft goals.
Well, this D-League tournament is a tournament that allows you to experiment because whether you win all your preliminary games, whether you lose all preliminary games, whether you win one, draw all, doesn't matter because you all end up in the semifinals. So it allows to experiment, it allows for guys to get opportunities, guys to experiment, to try different things, to see what works and see what doesn't work, because when push comes to shove, you know what you have and what's available to you when the big games come in the semifinals. So there were some inexperienced guys, a couple of the more experienced players would have come later, but of course still missing captain and vice captain of the side. Missing to Marcus, missing a number of key players. So, got to see what the younger guys had, and they put in a very good shift for about 60 minutes.
Well, they did. They really did.
Like if Jerry Connor almost scored. Jaden Fleming was getting himself in there. The younger guys really played well for the first half and a large portion of the second half as well. Just the inexperienced really played a factor at the end, of course. The goals would coincide when the experienced head on the field was taken off the field. Akimel Rogers brought on another younger guy. The experience left the field, and the inexperience would have cost the side a couple goals.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have never seen. I think that you'll need to leave Akimel with that armband.
That may have been his best game in a long time.
Well, I don't know about a long time, but since I'm watching football, it is the best game I've seen Akimel had. He had a really level-headed game. He had a really, really good game last evening. He played really good football. He was control. He played really, really good football. You know, I was surprised when you took him off. He played really good football last evening, and I must compliment him.
He played very well. He showed me what I needed to see. Akimel can still play at the highest level, at a very, very high level, at this highest level. So you know what you get with Akimel. He's very creative and he's very composed. But what I don't know what I have is with some of the younger guys, if Akimel gets injured during a game, who do I bring in? That was the purpose of it. In the big game, if one of the senior guys goes down, who comes in? And what can they provide when they come in? Boston with a very good interception. Turning up field as well, Boston. Boston does well to beat a couple. Still driving Boston. Desrina Boston.
Ooh.
She gave it up too early. She gave
did.
it up too early. She could have beaten the whole team. They couldn't get a boot on her.
Ooh.
Poke down the line, but not the best pass. Of course, the Queens will be missing. That's Soraya Blair. Very good play out of St. Martin for them. They do have half of that, the dynamic duo with Desrina Boston, but there's no Blair here. She would be a big miss. I do understand. This is wide here for the EastEnders. Lakeisha puts it in towards Kaylee. Reba gets in the way. Now Reba against Kaylee Duran. That will be a very good battle to see throughout the course of this game. Kaylee Duran and Reba start, and Reba wins round 1.
The substitution is going to come now for Ferguson. Very unfortunate for her to leave at this stage. But she leaves, and coming in, it's none other but Camille Guns.
Surprising she didn't start. Heard that she may have came late is the reason that she didn't start. But that's one of the most dangerous left boots I've seen in this female league. We have two of the best left boots on show here today, Camille and Katie Duran.
I think with we might see some changes. With Camille coming in. That may just cause for Boston to play strike.
I was about to mention before the Easterners had that attack. And again, Desrina Boston is not playing as a forward. Now the card has come out for Ferguson. Not a good look at all. She didn't look she was able to walk. She had to hop off the field, and then after some treatment, she's still not able to make it over to her sideline.
But we noticed there, Doc, that she was wearing a very heavy strapping as we watch Camille making a run with the very first touch of the ball, and she wins the throw. She had her ankle very heavily strapped, so it would have meant that she would have come into the game with an injury and aggravating it very early in this first half. Must be a loss for the Queens.
One thing the Queens do not lack is depth. The Queens have a player to replace a player who replaced a player. Thrown to the Queens, not away by the EastEnders.
They give away a corner.
York
That's a soft
just
corner.
can't keep it, and she's a bit frustrated there, Sharianne York. She knows she could have done better on that occasion. It's a corner to the Queens, and it could be dangerous. They can put a ball into the mixer and look to get an advantage in the first half of this one. A key advantage and a key clash in this female league.
It is.
Two sides right around the top end of the table. Of course, the superstars have pretty much run away with it now. It's more of the same, but that's a good ball in, and almost a cheeky finish.
And who it was?
There's Rena Boston, the shortest player in there.
How can you win a ball coming sort of in from a corner? It was not even on the ground. The shortest player on the ground.
She just has a knack of getting to it.
Just know the ball it's like a magnet. The ball just finds her. Yeah. Or she just finds the ball.
Lakeisha finds Tanija. Lovely pass back out wide for Lakeisha here. Lakeisha with Roach for company. Roach does very well. Here's Willett. Keranik can't get there ahead of Linton. It will be a throw into the EastEnders. Under the 28th minute of play, it's still goalless. We did see a goalless draw play out last night between the youngsters.
Doc, if anybody would have told you that the youngsters and the Shining Stars would have played to a 0-0 draw, would you believe?
Not the form Adriana has been in. Definitely not the form Adriana has been in. But the youngsters' defense has been dramatically improved with Anisha coming back. So
that's the Shining Stars.
The Shining Stars, yes. Shot by Willett! Rattles the crossbar. Well, that was the first real moment in this game. And Tanisha Willett absolutely shook the crossbar with a rasping shot. It definitely would have caught Lorenzo Ruan out.
That's a rocket of a shot.
Now here's Kaylee. Kaylee around the outside. Kaylee bustles off Zaria. And Kaylee Duran has forced a brilliant save out of Ruan.
That is a magnificent save. Ruan coming to the fore. Oh, coming to save the day for the Queen. Whoa, after she was beaten, New Orleans up with a rocket of a shot from the boot of Tanisha Willett that struck her crossbar, her best friend on the field. Oh, not her defense, the crossbar, her very best friend on the day. And she pulled off a superb save.
The short corner was taken, and I must say, I never really get the point of unrehearsed short corners. They rarely, if ever, seem to work in this league. As here's York running into danger, dealt with by Linton for now. Still York pokes one well towards Amira. Plays this one inside. Looking for Cayley. That's good strength shown by Taya Hodge. All the way back, and York will let it run for a throw-in. Amira looks to go down the line, and we'll find a teammate there in Lakeisha. Now to Niger.
As we were mentioning, Doc, Connor just had her work cut out last evening with Matthew, who just was like white and rice.
She's a stout defender, Anisha Matthew. Always causes some headache for whatever forward she comes against. And all of a sudden, the Shining Stars defense looks very much a formidable outfit with Jakita and Anisha back there. You still have the pace of Talia and Singh as well.
But if you notice where Brian played, she didn't play her natural centre-back position. She played, yes.
Indeed, she did play forward. And then when Roxanne comes back, that would free up Roxanne to move forward, because if Anisha's back, Roxanne doesn't have to play at centre-back where she played the last time she would have played the Shining Stars.
Well, I think she would play her centre-back position, but it may just unleash somebody else to play to run forward. You know, I saw the...
They can play Melissa forward as well, a very dangerous player.
I saw the preliminary squad for the national team, and centre mid is as a defense is where she has been named in that squad.
Look at the pace of Camille, but guess who comes across and covers yet again? It's Mindy Phillip.
She's not the fastest, but very experienced.
Indeed, a part of the Gazelles during their golden years. Didn't look the same player last year. Looked a very different player coming back from a very extended absence. But she's back to form, back to fitness, and back to her best.
Yes. Playing very well. Mindy Phillip. Doc, in other news, I just wanted to have this conversation last night, and you just tried. You did everything to ensure, because you're back into Milan, you just didn't come to the commentator's booth. You just refused from having that conversation last evening.
Lukaku just doesn't seem to like Manchester United. Lukaku decided halfway through the game he was putting on a Manchester City shirt, and he went and played centre back for Manchester City.
Well. I don't know why you are saying that, but what I know very well is that a number of persons would not have given Inter Milan a chance. But I tell you what, Inter Milan just blew all their chances. They had an opportunity to win that game. They had opportunity after opportunities to win that game. If you ask me, while
good-looking
ball. That's a lovely ball, and that must be a penalty. Oh no!
Not enough in it, says the referee.
The referee says not enough. While the air was flagging and flagging. The referee says no, nothing happening there.
In the center of the park, maybe, but not down there. They're both offside. Useless pass, really. They're all offside.
No.
What?
Doc. Are you there? They were both offside. No call came.
Millie?
They were both offside.
There was no more a blatant offside.
They were not playing the ball. The ball was played. They refused to play the ball.
They all left it, so the player who would have come from an offside ran back and ended up getting the ball. It doesn't change the fact that no matter how long ago the ball was played, nobody touched it, and you were offside. So you have to be offside, no matter what.
Doc, we are up here.
But you can't point out that something is outrageous.
It is. Doc, if that is not obvious, there is nothing else in football that is obvious. Isn't that a penalty, Doc? Let's go to VAR.
The ball came in. It was a good-looking ball. And Boston was trying to get in behind. And Not enough in it for me. Not quite enough in it. Boston is not the tallest figure, as the shot from Camille will go wide. And then trying to see how that wasn't an offside. They were all miles off. They were all miles offside. The defenders weren't even bothered to go for the ball
Because they were offside.
Everyone was offside.
They were offside.
Just because
It wasn't even close.
just because she walked back onside and then goes back again doesn't mean that she's onside. When the ball was played, she was about 25 yards behind the defense. Well, had that led to a goal, that may have been one of the most outrageous calls you would have seen in this league. It could fall here, but Jordan is not able to recover. Tussling well with Amira Jordan. But good enough defensive work. Looking to go down the line, and
That's gone out.
Kaylee can't keep it in play. And here comes Lakeisha towards Tanija. Tanija with a good-looking ball out wide. And for the first time today, Safia Gaskins can look to break past Sawyer. A very good defensive recovery there from Camille Gums. I haven't said much of Safia Gaskins' name today.
Indeed, she just seemed to be absent off the park.
Indeed, but for her first real opportunity to break away, a lot of players and focus on this left side for the EastEnders, trying to get Kaylee Durand as well as Lakeisha involved in the play. It'll be interesting to see when the EastEnders opt to go to Lakoya Common. Very dangerous player. Has a very good set piece on her as well. Lakoya Common. Played upfield only. As far as the EastEnders defense, Amira in there. It's a very, very stout EastEnders defense. Throw comes in and mistouched by Lakeisha.
And that's Duran.
It was Kaylee Duran actually. And almost trouble there for Janae. Trouble there for Janae. Very good recovery pace there from Janae Gums. Mira wasn't ready for it. Wasn't in the position that Janae would have expected her to be in. Well, she does well in the end. It will be a throw to the Queens. In towards Jordan. So again, the EastEnders defense standing firm, and they do win a throw-in. Approaching.
If you notice what has happened now, Doc, is that Willett has drifted onto this side and has allowed Kaylee to go into the middle.
I think she's just not getting enough of the ball. So she's just drifted over, and Kaylee's moved to cover her position. She's just not getting onto the ball enough to Naja Willett.
Because the truth be told, Doc, if we notice, most of our Kaylee goals would have come from...
Look at Tanija. Very good fight, but very good strength shown. And Camille gets past one. Still Camille Gums here. Has options in the center. Tries to go towards Jendai Linton.
Has to be stronger than that. Have to keep your feet. Has to be stronger than that. In those positions. She was looking not for Linton, she was actually looking for Boston. But she went too low to wrap her feet around the ball. And so when you get that low, it is obvious.
Indeed, you're off balance. Down the line for the EastEnders. Bit of a missed touch. A bit of a missed touch. It's a tussle out there. And eventually the whistle goes.
Must be a free kick.
It will be a free kick in favor of the Queens.
I don't know in football. I hate that. It is if it's not your ball, just leave the ball. Why do you kick away the ball? Why? Why do you kick away the ball?
Time wasting, I guess. But you know.
And now you are 0-0. But there is going to come a time in the game that you are going to need those seconds.
You want that time back. Boston trying to turn off of Mindy, read well by Janae. And still Janae Gums here. Shields it out, wins the throw-in. And Janae Gums' confidence has gone up a whole lot this season as well. She's played some very good football. And Lakeisha gets this one wrong. And see, as I said, I think Tanaja just drifted over because that's where the ball was, because now Kaylee is back on the left. But now Tanaja is moving over again, trying to get onto the ball. Amira. Now Tanaja scoops it back towards Karanique Harrigan. Lovely pass by Karanique towards Tanaja. A bit loose from Tanaja Willett, and Dale Linton gets in there, just boots it upfield aimlessly. Gums had more time than I think she thought she had.
Indeed, she had time and she had players. She had time, she had players at her disposal and chose just to hit it out.
York tries to get there.
That's a foul.
York seems to be heavily strapped as well. I think that she was caught late and she felt it on that right leg. Gums will take this free kick. Puts it long. Cut out partially by Hawley. Picked up by York. Good turn by York as well. Looking to feed to Niger. The Queens yet again stepping in. Looking to go forward towards Linton. Linton have lit up the primary school league recently for the Aurelia Kelly Primary School. Now Camille Gums. Camille, oh, lovely move to beat Ashida here. And Camille looking to get inside. Very good defensive work for the moment. Good turn by Karanique Harrigan as well. Now Willett, who's dropped deep now. She's doing everything possible to get onto the ball. She's beaten Warner. That's a very stout defender there yet again, Jordan. They form a dynamic duo, Jordan and Jendaya Linton, over the OKPS. Scored a lot of goals for the primary school side. It does take a while for the primary school game to translate to this female league. No better example of that than Tanisha Willett.
Indeed. You know, you have an opportunity to play the inter-house tournament, and then it's where you transition to where the big girls play.
Another example of that would be Karanique Harrigan as well. Lit up the primary school league. I think that every record that Tanisha would have set, Karanique came and broke them all. And it did take her a while. It took her moving clubs from superstars to the EastEnders, but I think she's finally found her home and her position and an attacking midfielder role just in behind Tanisha and Katie Duran. There's a young Harrigan. It's a very good double move. And she has space to break into as well. But that was Lakeisha on the outside. Lakeisha was sought for company. Lakeisha looking to get past Stott, but you won't do it that easily.
And that was a good run by Kaylee Duran.
York. Now Amira. Only as far as Zaria Roach. Jordan. Looking for and finding Hawley. That's very good defensive work there from York. As Ashida out wide. Will use Ashida Hodge.
York is playing some good ball, stubborn ball, Doc.
Indeed, she is. Now, Camille to Boston. This is where she's dangerous. But Mindy Phillip in there yet again. She's had a very good game today, Mindy. Shifted wider now. It's Gaskin. Looking for and finding Willett. Willett. Up against Taya Hodge. Back out wide for Gaskin. Gaskin. And Williams for company. And Williams does brilliantly well. Wins a throw-in as well, Sawyer. Just a single minute will be added to this one. Because the injury.
Can somebody, Doc, can somebody spoil halftime break for somebody? Can someone?
I do like that even though the injury to Ferguson was a pretty severe one, forced her off, it didn't take up much time because the referee allowed her to move off on the side of the field. I see a lot of referees are guilty of allowing players to receive treatment on the field when they're right next to the side.
But it all depends on what the
Depends on what the injury is, of course.
is.
Boston. And waiting on a signal. The throw will go the way of the Queens.
What?
So,
What?
the referee allows it to play. It does allow the EastEnders to get the throw in the end, which was the right call. As here comes Boston.
That's the final whistle. It's 0-0. The EastEnders are taking on the Diamond Queen. It is 0-0 at halftime, and we are going to take you back to Master Control. When we return in just about 12 minutes or so, we will be bringing you live coverage from the Raymond Igisha Technical Center, and not forgetting a primetime game. It's a doubleheader. It's a Diamond Day. It's Diamond FC. They will be up against the Nemesis, the Attackers. Join us after the break. 10. Well, it's evening now. It's not quite night. Welcome back to Raymond Igisha Technical Center. We are just about restarting our first encounter of the day. It's the Queens are taking on the EastEnders. It's a 0-0. It's 0-0 at the half. Remember, coming up our primetime game, it's a Diamond taking on the Attackers, and that's in the Champion League. Doc, there is a substitution.
Yes, it's for the EastEnders, and it's Ashida Rogers would have come off. And look to see who has replaced her.
Is it number 16 now?
16 would it be? Yeah, maybe Chef Nick D'Souza.
Doc, it's surprising that we have not seen up to this point the inclusion of Carmont. Is she listed as a
She's
reserve?
listed amongst the substitutes, so she should be available today. And she would want to come on that midfield area. But the question is, who would you take off? Would it be Karonika who provides you the offensive walk? Or would it be Sherian York who provides the defensive walk? They balance each other so well, Karonika and Sherian, that you wouldn't know who to replace.
You have to take the goal. You know, I just like to see Carmont on the field.
Indeed.
Very stubborn. She takes some really, really good free kicks.
Very good set piece she has. And she gives him a variety of set pieces as well, because you have the left-footed set piece taker and Kaylee, and then the right-foot set piece taker and Lakoya. She can really score a mean free kick. Takes good corners as well. Lakoya come out. Interesting to see why she hasn't quite been used. Well, they do have amongst the substitutes today who I'm seeing for the first time, a young Reina Liko. I remember her playing for the EastEnders. I remember playing for East End Primary School actually a few years ago and lit up the primary school league.
Well, she played a couple of games. She came off on a substitute so far in this tournament, and she looks good. Doc, and she's fast. She is fast.
Another product of the East End Primary School here in this East End side. Very talented young player, Aliko. Hope to see her today. She, as he said, she's very fast.
And by nature, she's just a really, really good athlete.
Indeed, she's also a runner as well.
Yes.
On the Queens side of things, it would be interesting to see again Brittany Christopher, that stout defender for the Queens. She used to be a starter for them. Hasn't started in a fair while.
I'm not sure that she's on the bench. Work commitment has gotten the better of her. No, she would have suffered an injury last season and would have kept her out for a bit. And coming back, work commitment, whatever. Keep her out of a number of games. Here is the EastEnders down the right flank. The ball that is going to go into touch. Ooh. That's
a solid figure to land on you. Sawyer Williams she's very much an imposing figure. And luckily both parties come away okay. It'll be a throw to the Queens in the end.
It was a Queen's throw. Ball would have been passed by Tinija.
Strong throw there by Williams. As far as Duran, who will find Tanija. But Tanija has Reba start for company, and not many are beating Reba back there. Surprised it took this long for a team to put Reba in defense. Remember, for a number of years, she was playing off the wing for the youngsters. And eventually she moved to fullback. And finally, a team has decided to put her at center back. And it's worked so well.
Casey and Harley. Harley, ball across. Can't find Linton. Oh, ball ricocheting. And Linton picks it up now. Linton. Still Linton in the air. Linton.
Oh, she's a fighter. And Boston has a shot that is deflected. Now here's Hawley. Hawley beats Warner. Hawley has Willett for company. Still Casey and Hawley here. Goes back to Camille Gums, who gets it horribly wrong.
She went for a cross. But why did Harley look to cut? Why didn't she just give the ball back to Boston?
Lay it off. Just lay it off. You're driving inside. You're driving to no man's land because the striker who would be there is out wide waiting on the pass. When your striker vacates their striking position and no one has filled it, you have to feed them with the ball. Because if you choose to cut inside, there's nobody in there.
Exactly. She was cutting into traffic.
It's easier to see things from up here than it is down there. Janae takes the free kick. Read well by Taya. It's a good-looking ball towards Linton. She's shown good pace as well, but cut out. I think that's D'Souza who's come in there. Now Camille finds Boston. Boston can turn, you know. Boston. Janae did well initially, then Mindy Phillip did well in the end. Now Adele Linton. Adele driving inside. She can have a hit, you know. Adele Linton forces a good save. Davia did well in the end, but that's where Adele is so dangerous, beating players off the dribble, getting into the area and having a shot.
Indeed.
It's a very good kick towards Tanija Willett.
Forcing a really good save there. In the end, it was straight to her. Good work there by Hodge.
I think that I'll get to that after because the Queens are here again. Driving inside, just ran into a brick wall there. Very good defensive work. Also, I think that Amira needed to tuck inside a bit more. She left the gap in between Janae and herself very much wide open. Yes, Camille finds a ball toward Linton, who shifts this one wider for Jordan.
Why didn't she leave it for her sister?
Now here come the EastEnders looking to turn this one inside. It's a good move. My Willett towards Kaylee. Kaylee over to Lakeisha. Lakeisha putting one in. But again, gets it wrong and it goes behind. Just got enough to get it behind for the goal kick.
Doc, can you tell me about that Rowan Lions Eagle Claw game?
Well, the Lions gave away 2 goals, and they could only score 1. That's basically a summary of it. Marvin gave away a goal. Well, Marvin and Kareem combined to give away 1 goal, and Kelly Jackson gave away the other one. A perfect assist, I must say, but Barbara Johnson, perfect assist. But the Claw did what they didn't do in the previous game. The Lions came back. They got themselves the second goal. And they had just enough to get the better of the Roaring Lions. And I will say, the Claw, if they can put it together, they can cause some problems. They don't just have a good starting 11 when the St. Martin guys come over. Their bench contains the likes of Yatta and Poodle. If the Claw can put it together, will we see one of the biggest miracles in Anguillan football?
Well, the manager said to me earlier, I am looking to upset the Champions League.
I remember the last tournament the Eagle Claw were in, that was the D-League. They put out a post on social media. They called out every side and told them that they were coming for them. The club went on to lose every single game in that D-League season. They lost to the Spartans, lost to the Diamond, lost to the Uprising, and lost to the Predators. They lost every single game in that D-League season. They made the Champions League this time. They didn't say a word. They've come out and they've upset the Lions. Will this be a reversal of fortune for the Claw?
Look to see. To watch Willett.
And bear in mind, this is a Claw team with Joe Tazi still out. He's still coming back from a hand injury.
Yes.
He'll be back. This is a Claw side that had Poodle and Yat on the bench. Nick Dashenko couldn't start. One of the better left backs I've seen in this league couldn't start because Rohan Taylor and Gordon on the fullback positions were just too good. They have Giovanni Anthony playing center back, a very, very good center back. And it gives Khalifa a little bit more freedom as well. Cyril, a good goalkeeper. The only question for the Claw, the only question I will say, how do they manage the egos of Stewie and the guy I call the franchise, Naldo Charles?
Well, if you ask me, Stewie needs to do his job, which is coaching. He is in the team as a coach. He needs to coach and keep off the field. I'll say no more on that.
Because if the Claw, they have this midfield, I can't remember his name. I will get his name for you in a bit. They have a very talented midfielder. It wasn't there the last time out for them. He would have played the game before that. There's a talented midfielder, number 12, and Keanu Jeffers, a very, very good midfielder for them. He lit up last time I saw him out.
Yeah, he was really, really good in that game.
And if he comes out, if he comes out to play, he has to start. So who goes to the bench? Because you're not going to bench Harvey. You're not going to bench Robinson. So the only other man you have to bench is Stewie.
An overload. That's what you call an overload.
They have talent in abundance. You're telling me a player of the talent of Garfield couldn't get a second on the field? That's how much they had to bring on Poodle in the 60th minute and Yatta in the 80th minute.
And Doc, what I will say, I didn't watch the game. I was at an event and I didn't have the opportunity to. But what I would say is that whenever you are part of the team, it doesn't matter. It's like putting a puzzle together. It doesn't matter what position or what time you are placed in that puzzle. The important thing is that you fit. You fit in. You are playing in a team and you are going to find yourself playing at a time where you might not like it. You want to play 90 minutes of football. You want to be on the show. The truth is, the team doesn't want you to play 90 minutes. They want you to play the best 10 minutes of your life. That's all they're asking of you.
Well, a certain young man from a certain team was taken off in the 60th minute. And by the 63rd minute,
He was out of the ground.
with a Gatorade in his hand and his boots in his hand. Another young man would have come onto the field in about the 70th minute, And by the 73rd minute, he was back over to the bench telling the coach he doesn't like where he's being played and he wants to come off. You have to manage.
So, Doc, what do you do in these cases? What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, you have two choices. You either play where you're put or you come out.
Doc, at times you have to encourage people to go do cycling,
Yeah, indeed.
do tennis.
Indeed. Go play some golf. Go play a sport by yourself. Where you can do what you want and it won't affect anyone else around you.
Doc, let us commentate on the football that is before us.
This is our platform where we can speak on what we want. We don't have a podcast. We don't have a show. This is our platform to speak on issues going on in football in Anguilla. Lovely ball through. Boston could get in behind here. Boston has pace. There's Rena. Boston was going too fast. She couldn't pull it back down the gears and she sliced her shot.
Ooh, Boston. All she had to do was to hit far post.
She was going too fast.
Hit far post.
But I will say Janae Gums did well
Yes.
to keep up with this Rena Boston's pace and force her to take the shot early. Not many defenders have the pace to keep up with Boston. There's one of them. Her, maybe Andisha Matthew as well. But there are not many central defenders with the pace to keep up with this Rena Boston.
She's fast.
She's an athlete.
I'm not seeing the attackers, and I'm not seeing a full squad for the Diamond FC. What is going on? That we are into the 61st minute of play.
We never really see the attackers. They just show up. They just happen to show up for the game. We rarely ever see the attackers, but they will come and they will play because they beat the Diamond FC last time out.
They beat the Diamond bench. Of course, they did.
Well, that bench did include Trevor Peters, who came onto the field. But they were without Alex, they were without Redondo, without Malachi. I'm saying Armando as well. So that's four really key starters for them.
Millington didn't play. Did he play in that game? Yes, he did.
He did play in that game.
Yes.
Jaden played. Jared and Jalen played. A number of starters for them played. But the attackers went down 2-0 when they had 9 men. But they got 11.
And they went out.
They went on to win.
Yes. And this is what I was saying, as Doc. When you have a team that is without their full complement of players, you take advantage. You take advantage. You try to kill off a game there and then.
But
if you notice, even in that game last night, Spartans versus Limans, even with the absence of Benjamin on the field, there were so many opportunities that the Spartans had to kill that game off. Even with 11 on the field at the time, Spartans had glorious opportunities after opportunities to kill that game off and didn't.
And it's interesting because when Benjamin did come onto the field, he didn't really get a chance. But when the younger Jerry Connor was on the field, he got about 3 opportunities.
Yes.
And had those opportunities that fell to Jerry fall into Benjamin. Because the game could have been over before half.
But both Jarek and Shaylon had opportunities.
Indeed. And had they fallen to the guys who came on for them at the half, Kamari Gums had not said Benjamin.
Exactly.
It could have been 4-0 at halftime. It's just the way the game of football goes sometimes. The second half was played a strong 11 against a strong 11, and the Lions 11 won out. Couple individual mistakes at the back. Well, we see the first time of the attackers. It's Mr. Rashim. I saw the Duke earlier as well. The Duke making his way into the stadium. Well, they'll come to play. And they'll come with their guys. Hopefully the attackers have their full quota. So Denzel doesn't have to be a super sub. Denzel would have scored their last game against the Diamond FC. Hey, it was a good goal. It was a really good goal from Denzel. Would have called one into the far corner. Looked like he was still playing for the Enforcers, Denzel.
That is that Harley who went down, being aided off the field. One would hope that she would be able to continue. And special is in the ground.
I think the tackles, they will have a side. You see, well, Spoonie's early. Spoonie has come to the game on time. Wabi is there. Well, attackers have a side. I know Keon will be coming in. Hopefully, Orozco. Oh, that's a good move. Gets past one-on-one with the keeper. She took too long.
No, she didn't.
She did well in the end.
She didn't.
There's the famous celebration. And guess who? It's Kaylee Durand. She almost fluffed the chance. It was onto her right boot, but she had just enough time. And in the end, Kaylee does what she does.
What she does best. She scores goals. Kaylee does what Kaylee does best. She scores goals.
Kaylee Durand, for the first time, got in behind the Reba start. They've been battling all game, those two.
Very good turn. Very good turn. Leaving Reba starting park. And she slotted it home. Very, very well.
I would like to see the goal scoring charts. I don't call this in first by a long way.
Indeed.
But, I wonder if would Kaylee still be in second, or would Adriana have passed us? The question.
It's a fight between Kaylee, Adriana, and Boston.
Boston hasn't scored in a couple of games. After her brilliant start, she hasn't scored in a couple. And Kaylee didn't score the last time she scored today. And the last I checked, I think I'm not certain. I have to get the official statistics. We'll have to see, but it will be interesting to see the goal-scoring leaders after Kali, of course. The same way you want to check the table after superstars. It's just more of the same. Superstars dominance. Kali running away with the golden boot. What else is new?
It's just a new day. That's all it is, Doc. A new day.
I'm going to look and find the statistics. Don't have the paper today. I'm going to do the research myself.
Linton looks for, or gives it away very cheaply. Easton can break. It's intercepted there well by Hodge. Henry looks for, finds Hodge. Still Hodge. Puts it forward for Linton. Linton has company. She's not going to win that ball. Ball put into touch. Linton goes down, stays down. That's Jendai.
Well, I do have the scoring charts for you, and I'm not going to call Carla because she's far away ahead. She's going flying past everyone else. But Boston and Durant are now tied on 7 for second, and then Adriana's in behind them with 5. Then Tanija in 5th, she would have 4 goals. So, well, Kalia has 15, but doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
You know she's going to win the Golden Boot. So much talent in it. And that player's feet, Kalia Johnson. She could probably go over to the male league and dominate as well.
But I tell you something, it's a different Kalia when Colleen is not around.
Indeed, she's not the same player because she has to do twice the work. But she has to go and do Colleen's work and her work as well. So she plays creator and finisher. And that's us saying that for Kalia when she scored 4 goals last time out without Colleen. Either 4 or 5, I can't remember. You can tell the amount of work she has to do. She gets a bit more frustrated when Coco isn't there because she has to play creator.
She drops very deep. She plays more of a center mid when Colleen is not there. she goes back there, walk for the ball, and look to run the field. But when Coco is there, she barely passes that half line.
Because she doesn't have to. Coco will control the midfield. One of the best midfield generals you'll see on show here. Ariba does well this time. Does very well, in fact. Goal kick.
Well, a corner has been given, Doc.
Oh, interesting. Looked like a goal kick to me, but corner as a result. Played back towards the Souza. And voted away and out for a throw-in.
Ball driven forward. Jenny is there. Boston can't lay a boot on that one. Gums is playing well. That's Jenny Gums. Playing a very stubborn defense. That is going to go into touch.
Gaskin with a missed touch there. Well, when does Cleo? Well, does Cleo look to use Lacoya? He's gotten the goal, so he can take off Karanique if he wants to.
So Casey and Harley is going to be substituted. It's a double substitution because your favorite person is coming onto the field, Doc. Christopher is going to make her way on, as well as Angelique.
Big fan of Brittany because I won't lie, it's just one of the only names I knew when the time when Queens first started out. It was a very easy name to remember. Two simple names: Brittany, Christopher. Easy.
Those are the common names, and we don't have them too often now.
Don't have too many of them at all.
We don't have too much of them at all.
I like her. I like Matthew Brown. Two of my favorite players.
Too easy is a name to call.
So Brittany and Angelique would have come onto the field of play.
It's a handball. Advantage play.
Played.
Boston. Still Boston looking for an avenue. She was looking for Camille. Wasn't forthcoming.
Well, looks like Kiroy Reed may be back for the attackers.
He is. He is in the house.
The attackers have come to play.
All their pieces are here.
All I want to see they're missing is Joel Orozco. Hoping for a good game. Haven't quite seen Keon Lee in the stadium either, but he's never too far away. Once he's on island, he'll come and play for his side. Booted long over the head of Karanique. She's a very feisty customer, Karanique Aragana. But here come the Queens, scooping it past one. Karanique back in there. Pass cut out by Angelique. And now a chance for the EastEnders. This could be troublesome because she's turning left, turning right. She's just bodying past players. Tenasia Willett still going and shifts this one out wide toward Gaskin here. Gaskin. Oh, let down. Severe letdown by Gaskin.
And That was a tremendous run there by Tenija Willett, and another Queen's players go down dark. And this is Roach.
Well, Coach Linton, did you make the subs too quickly?
Let's. When you say Coach Linton, you have to identify.
Coach Nadia Linton.
Good.
Nigel, of course, charge of the men's team. Nadia has the female team.
Roach is back to our feet. And is this a water break?
No, it's an injury break. And I think this is something I've seen Coach Cleo do with the Easterners on a number of occasions. Anytime a player goes down, he calls his side over and gives them all instructions as to what they want to accomplish and what they want, how they want to carry out their plan to end the game. I do like that. I see two coaches do it a lot. I see Cleo do it, and I see Nigel Linton do it. Two coaches, two very experienced coaches, Linton and Ham. Cleo, of course, long-time Kicks United coach. I believe Linton would have coached the Kicks for a bit as well.
Sawyer Williams will just shepherd the ball out.
Read all the way. She's done some very good work today, York.
York just seem to be everywhere.
Sherry Ann York has put in a shift in midfield. Overhead only as far as D'Souza. Can the Queens find something to get back into this one?
Well, 14 minutes to play. Plus any time added, they would have had a few fair minutes for injury. Dark predictions on this game.
If attackers have a full 11?
No. On this game.
This game. I don't see it changing. I don't see it changing.
1-0.
1-0. D'Souza. Towards Keranik. It's a very good move there by York, but sandwiched and bolted upfield looking for Brittany. And Brittany Christopher trying to get in behind. You won't outpace Janae. Not many can outpace Janae.
Well, it's an unfamiliar role I'm seeing Christopher playing in.
She plays defense.
She's in the defense, but she's been put in a striker's role.
Well, if she gets a goal, Nadia Linton looks like a genius. This one booted upfield. Time is ticking away. Can the EastEnders grab a second and secure this game? Or will the Diamond Queens find an equalizer? Here's Linton. This is where she's dangerous, you know, Adele Linton. Drops it wider. Ball put in early. Desrina Boston. It was on her right boot. Back towards Jordan and Desrina Boston. It trickles. It just trickled past the post. It took a coat of paint off the post.
How did that ball stay out?
Had it hit any other part of Desrina Boston's body, it was going in. It happened to hit the one part of her body that she couldn't quite control. That awkward area between the top of the thigh and the bottom of the hip. She's in again, Desrina Boston.
When she goes down, that must be a penalty. That must be a penalty. And on this occasion, the flag has been waved.
The referee flagged.
The AR flag is waved.
The referee doesn't want anything to do with it, it looks like.
And the referee, we wait to see what is it going to be. Penalty.
Is it?
We wait.
They're talking.
Penalty.
Yes, it is a penalty.
And who's going to step up?
It will be Reba.
It is going to be Boston.
Well, Reba scored 2. I haven't seen Boston take one yet. I've seen Reba score 2.
You see, Reba scored when Boston has scored before the game was secured.
Interesting. It says, you know, Boston.
Your striker is gonna send.
Boston will take this one. Boston. Left boot. We know what she can do. Takes it with the right. And she puts it wide.
And she misses.
There was a reason I said left boot.
Left, it must have been.
It should have been her left. The way she strikes her out with her left, she looks like she's more comfortable taking shots with her left boot.
Yes.
She took it with the right and she dragged it wide. I did see Reba. I've not seen Reba miss.
Reba has the skill and potentially. She really puts away her penalty really superbly.
I think it's an interesting case because at the Spartans you have the same issue because Nutsy takes good penalties and Thomas George hasn't missed one. But when Nutsy came into the side, he took out penalty duties.
It is going to be a triple substitution for the Easterners, and our friend is coming in. That's common. She's making her way on. Liko is also going to make her entrance.
I did say the change would have been Karanik out for Lakoya. That is the change. And Liko will be coming in. Well, looks like Kaylee Duran has made her exit, or was it Willett?
Duran. Duran as
Gaskin
well.
Gaskin is still on the pitch. I'm surprised it wasn't Gaskin who was replaced. Well, the attackers have come and they've come in full force. They're getting a warm-up, which is rare for the attackers. They have more, and then a few guys knocking around the ball for their warm-up.
Here is Boston. Foul. Handball call. Boston not pleased with that. Opportunity going and begging for the Queens to get back on the even terms.
But here's Boston. Too many red shirts.
It's still Boston.
Still has it. Tries to poke it through. When she needs to be more selfish. She's a bit too selfless. Keep going. They can't stop you.
Here's Linton. Down the right flank. A ball coming in. Going to trouble Hodge.
You're not going to beat Davy from that range with that sort of power.
And she has been named in the provisional squad for training.
It was Katira Kane's name in the squad. I didn't see the list. I haven't gone to look for it just yet.
Gibbons has been named in that squad as well. As a good ball push forward. This is offside. Christopher flagged offside, and she was indeed.
Indeed an offside position. Well, the attackers have players. So they have 11? I don't know, but they have players. And you can't quite say that they need to have an 11 without Wabi, because Wabi has been doing a very good job playing at right back for the attackers.
Like so far, what can you say about this game? You know, the intensity, the quality of football that we've seen in this game.
I will say that the DFC, they are missing Soraya Blair in a very bad way, because the composure and the quality she provides in the midfield is something that you don't quite get with your other midfield players.
And with Blair, what you would have had is indeed that would have pushed Boston forward. And here is the free kick specialist.
Indeed. Ariba looks to go wide. Only as far as looks like Liko out there. So I'm putting in no man's land, and collected by the Queens for now. As it's York and now Lico on a tussle with Camille Gums. And Camille tried to keep it in play. He sent us through. Arena up against Camille again. This time Camille just clears up field. Mindy boots it away. And it was Gaskin trying to get in there. Now it's Boston trying to flick it through. Mindy Phillip in the way again.
And you can really see
you can tell Brittany Christopher
is not a
forward.
It is clear to see she's not. But here comes Boston. She's taken out. And that has to be a card. That has to be. It cannot be anything else. All you have to ask is what color. It must be a card.
No choice but to show it. She had to make the foul. It's a professional foul. You can't stop the player.
She has to take one for the
down,
team.
Indeed. You kind of allow Boston to break away. Not there, not at this time. It will be a free kick. A pretty good area.
Is she going to go for goal?
This stage of the game, you don't have a choice but to have a shot.
She's going to go for broke. She's going to go for broke. Linton.
She can hit them. Adair Linton.
Upper left, V.
Hits this one pretty well. Just out of reach of Davia. But luckily for Davia, hit it and dipping off.
Wonderful. Told you. Doc, we have some young ladies, you know, if they take the sport seriously, Angola can become a force to reckon with.
There's talent in abundance here. It's a whole lot of talent.
We just need to take one, stay fit, stay healthy, and take our sport seriously.
Free kick to the EastEnders. Just 3 minutes now.
It surprised me when I saw the hand went EastEnders, because indeed it would have, it definitely was a queen ball. Well, Tunisia is leaving. They are going all out defense.
Indeed, it does look so. Tunisia, well, its day is done. Both of his strikers have come off. Gaskin seems to be dropping deeper. This ball is played in, and Janae gets in there partially. And eventually Amira can boot it further upfield.
Foul.
Looks like Aliana Gums would have come onto the field. It does seem to be Aliana who's coming to replace Tunisia Willett. Played wide early, looking for Lico. So he will have a hands full to deal with her pace. So you're in towards Angelique. Angelique turning and playing a good ball towards Camille. Camille, what can she do? It's blocked and picked up now by Gaskin. Camille does very well. And it's Camille still Camille Gums.
Too heavy a touch.
I think Angelique may have gotten in her way. She had to try and take the touch around Angelique. Williams gives this one away a bit cheaply, but does well to recover in the end. You know, Captain Reba. Not her best pass by a long shot.
Angelique has come on leaps and bounds, Doc. I remember when she couldn't find her feet. She didn't know which feet to kick the ball with. And she has really come a long way.
That's what hard work does for you.
You don't have to be the best at what you do. You just have to be dedicated to what you do.
Indeed. Talent can only get you so far. Hard work takes you the rest of the way. See it happen on so many occasions in football. The most talented players not willing to work, not willing to put in the effort, don't make it as far as they really could. So here comes Lico. So sworn in. Williams in the way, and now it's Angelique poking it, looking for Adair Linton. It's been all EastEnders. Taya now. Still Taya bustling through Boston. And put it over the top. It's a foot race. Janae gets
Boston! Where did she come from?
Janae comes yet again. This EastEnders defense, it's stout, it's sturdy, and it complements each other so well.
1 minute, the ref says, Doc.
Just the 1 minute for the Queens. Just a singular minute for the Diamond Queens to get back into this one. Here's Lico. Lico's pass is cut out. The race for second place is going to come right down to the wire. If this result holds for the EastEnders, they go second. If the Queens would have won this one, they would have gone second. As things stand, the EastEnders will be second on 11 points from 6 games. The Youngsters would have 9 from 6. The Shining Stars would have 9 from 6. And the Queens would have 7 from 6. That's just if this result goes. We've had 91 played.
And that's the final whistle, Doc.
That is all, says the referee. 3 blasts of the whistle means that the EastEnders FC come away with a 1-0 victory. It was a scrappy game. It was a tense game. We saw penalty misses. But in the end, the EastEnders did just enough. They move to second place.
Well, the EastEnders indeed are force to be reckoned with. And they are showing just why. So that's where we are going to leave it. We are going to tell you that Kaylee Duran is the player of the match for the EastEnders, the goal scorer.
You have to give credit to Mindy and Janae as well.
Yes,
contention.
The defense, they did well. But indeed, the player of the game, the player who made the difference in these two teams, between these two teams today, is none other than Kaylee Duran. And so congratulations to her and to the EastEnders for taking this 1-0 victory over the Diamond Queen. We are going to take you to Master Control, and as soon as you hear our voice again, it is because we are going to be live and lively with Diamond taking on
Attackers FC.
Until then, it's back to Master Control.